like that crew kind of were supporting Caio because they liked him. And now they don't really like him anymore. So now he's got nobody in his corner. And Captain Kerry is already looking for reasons to say goodbye. Hey, you guys. Thanks for tuning in to That Lady Heather Reality in Resin. So this week, I'm going to be working on all of these pieces of wood and preparing them. They've been drying, oh gosh, some of them have been drying for 2 or 3 years in here, but definitely for over a year. And this is my main one that I'm working on. I'm going to be prepping them to use them in tables and different resin projects. So if you're interested in that, make sure you subscribe to my channel, because I will be doing that later on this week. But today, this is That Lady Heather, Reality in Resin. And today we're going to be talking about Below Deck Season 12, Episode 5. This is the episode that we've been waiting for. Well, not really. It was a good episode, but it was definitely like maybe not one of the most interesting, a plot development episode, like move the plot along kind of episode. So let's begin. Thanks for tuning in. If you want to check out anything on this channel, I cover reality shows, but I also cover resin art because I'm a resin artist. I make things like this. And I just finished a video where I showed you how I made this actual necklace. So if you're interested in that, make sure you check out the other videos on my channel. I will be doing this wood project coming up, so make sure you tune into that if you're interested. I'm just checking my dogs, make sure that they're not doing anything destructive. Okay, let's begin. So this episode, we start off with the recap where we left off last episode. Fraser and Damon made out. Kyle and Solène have been like kissing. I don't think they've hooked up yet. Caio is kind of falling apart at his job. Solène seems to have come around. She's doing a better job, so no problems there. Rainbeau is, nobody really likes Rainbeau is what it seems like. She's working really hard and trying really desperately. I think things aren't jiving with her with any of the crew members. I thought she had a vibe going with Damon, but they don't seem to be showing that anymore. So not sure what's going on there. So we begin, and it's the morning, and everybody's kind of checking in on what happened the night before. So Damon and Fraser check in on each other, and yes, they made out. They had a pash. I really like how Damon phrases it. It all seems very casual and cool. I think Fraser makes a comment to not discuss it in front of his boyfriend should his boyfriend call. So there's some foreshadowing there. And then everybody goes out to brunch. I think we check in with Kyle and Solène, and they, are still flirting into each other. So last night, all of the staff went out, and then today they're going out for brunch before they start the charter. So everybody goes out for brunch. Fraser suggests that they play the game, go around the table and say one thing you hate about somebody. And we actually don't even see that game. It really just focuses on Solène and Bárbara, and they, really get along quite well, and they give each other big hugs, and Rainbeau is feeling very left out. At this point in the episode, at this point in the season, it's pretty clear that Rainbeau hasn't really made much of a connection with anyone. She's really focused on work, which is great, but she's kind of like so full of anxiety that now she's being desperate, and it's like even more of a turnoff. So I a little bit worry about Rainbeau and where she's headed. I thought she was vibing with Damon, but that doesn't seem to be happening. So she's kind of an island on her own, and in a situation with Below Deck, that's not very fun when you're living on top of each other and working constantly. The only fun time is hanging out with staff. And if you have no friends on board with you, then it makes for probably a long, lonely season. So we'll see what goes on there, but she's starting to get a little cuckoo. And she's my dark horse for firing, and now she's not becoming like less of a dark horse. And Solène seems to be doing just fine, so I don't think she's going to get fired after all. Oh, we know somebody else will. Anyway, let's carry on. I don't want to jump ahead. But, finally also. Yeah, so Solène and Bárbara confirmed that they're besties and they hug each other and nobody really likes Rainbow. What happens next? Oh my gosh, in my notes they say ooh la la a lot. And they do. Everybody says ooh la la. Not just Solène and not just Anthony. I like it. Everybody's saying ooh la la. Let's make ooh la la a thing. That should be somebody needs to have merch. Ooh la la merch. There's going to be a t-shirt. Okay, so basically they have a good time at brunch. Nothing, we get to know everybody again. Everybody hangs out. There's good rapport with everybody but Rainbow, but nothing significant happens. They go back on the boat. There's a little bit of drama between Caio and Captain Kerry. Nothing too major. Yeah, so back on the boat, back to work. Rainbow and Solène are getting ready, and there's like this awkward moment between them with like Rainbow's trying really hard, and she keeps kissing her. In fact, the name of this episode is like Rainbow Kisses, Friendship Wishes, because Rainbow keeps like kissing her, wishing she was like besties with her, and it's just like, ugh, it's getting like really cringy. It's almost like sexual harassment, even. If this was a man and he kept like trying to be friends with you by hugging and kissing you all the time as an employee, coworker, I don't know that I would be into it. I mean, I wouldn't really be into it with a woman either. Like, it's not jiving, Rainbow. Back off. Try something new. You know, you already know this isn't working. You keep saying this isn't working. Like, I could tell you I'm not your favorite, but I'm going to hug you anyway. How about you just like back off? Let her come to you. That's my advice. But, keep doing you. It's not going to work. You seem crazy and cringy. Oh my God. And then they talk about fitted sheet. I need a fitted sheet. And she makes her say fitted sheet like 7,000 times, which I think is really nice. She's trying to teach her English, but like, she didn't ask. It's too much. It's all just too much. It's all just too much. You gotta back off. And the more insecure that Rainbow feels, the more she tries harder. And it's like this circle of, it's what makes it an awesome reality TV show. It's just a circle of cringe. So anyway, that's going on. That's fun to watch. Fitted sheets. Okay, so Caio keeps messing up boat stuff, and it's really like frustrating Captain Kerry. In fact, I have a feeling that Captain Kerry, spoiler alert. Spoiler alert, I'm gonna jump ahead to the end of the episode. Captain Kerry finally fires Caio. So here's what I'm thinking though. I think that Captain Kerry had decided to fire Caio like last episode. I think this episode is all about Captain Kerry like bolstering up the courage, or it sucks to fire somebody. So he's not the courage necessarily, because I don't think he's afraid to fire him, but just bolstering up, what it takes to fire this guy. Make sure that he has enough of a case. He pulls Jess aside. They have a talk on the boat. The staff is like well over Caio. So I think this whole episode is really just Captain Kerry, who has already decided to fire him, making a case to fire him. And there's not too much more significant that actually goes on in this episode. We'll keep going through it, but this might be like a quick episode of That Lady Heather, because, Caio finally gets fired. Yahoo! But we all knew it was coming. The chef Anthony is doing a great job. There's no real struggles there. There's a little bit of like him and Fraser getting into kind of foreshadowing of a power struggle, but it doesn't even really happen. And then there's like one more major thing that happens, and it's not even that major. So we'll carry on unless there's something that I forgot. Oh, maybe there's two major things that happen, but for the most part, this episode is a bit of a snoozer. So yeah, so Caio keeps messing up boat stuff, and Captain Kerry's like yelling at him. I think Captain Kerry's being a little bit extra picky because, as I said, I think he's like definitely wanting to say goodbye to Caio and fire him. And I think he's already decided that that's, what's going to happen. But he needs an actual reason to fire him as well. So he's looking for those. Captain Kerry calls Caio up to the bridge to have a conversation with him, and he gives him a final warning and tells him, this is your last chance. You've got this charter to prove yourself. If you don't prove yourself this charter, you're out. Caio already knows that he's on his last legs, so this is no surprise to anybody. He's a little bit more nervous. His first instinct is to go down and pull the deck crew aside and have a conversation with them and basically, I think, blame it all on them to some degree. At least that's the way the crew is taking it. Stuff rolls downhill kind of thing. Like the deck crew kind of were supporting Caio because they liked him. And now they don't really like him anymore. So now he's got nobody in his corner. And Captain Kerry is already looking for reasons to say goodbye. He's got no deck crew now supporting him. In fact, they all have conversations on the side about how they're just over it and they don't want to support him anymore. As we know, this seals his fate. So maybe rather than talking about this in like sequence as they show it on the show, I might just talk about it in sequence as it actually, like I might just talk about it in chunks of things that happen. So Caio gets fired on the show. The next thing that happens is Fraser breaks up with his boyfriend. So I guess last episode, Damon and Fraser made out, and Fraser had a conversation with his boyfriend before that, where his boyfriend made it, I guess, clear that he didn't want him to make out with anybody and he would consider it cheating. So I don't know if they broke up because of that. I have a feeling that they just broke up because it's long distance and Fraser just broke up with them. It definitely seemed like Fraser had the phone call, broke up with him, and that's why he's fine. And sounds like they really love each other. They just don't see each other. So that was the end of that. That's one thing that happened on the show. And the other thing that happened is Kyle and Solène go on a date. It seemed really fun. It rained, which was kind of cool. They got along. He seems super into her. She is not super into him, although she's into him. She's having fun. She's more into like having a boatman's fun time. And he seems like he wants a very serious relationship. So I think, as we've seen on the coming up episodes, she's about to get over it real quick and he's still into her. So let me just make sure I'm not missing anything else that really significant happened on this episode. The guests seem really nice. They arrived. They even like go through the whole guest time very quickly. I think the guests are only there for 2 days and they go through both days. One whole day is just a montage of, morning to night. My notes just say next morning, next afternoon, next evening, next morning. So this is definitely just like a move it along episode. So I might just end it there. I don't think anything significant has actually happened in this episode. Other than Caio continuously making mistakes and eventually getting fired, but they're not even that like interesting mistakes, to be honest with you. And all the crew seems to be getting along. The tip was really good. 28,000, which is, let's see, 2150 each this week for 2-day charter. Compare that to like 19,000 for the 5-day charter. Yeah, and that's pretty much all that happens. So I guess next week we look forward to Kyle and Solène, her being over him and him being into her. I wonder if, Anthony and Fraser are going to finally have their conversation because Anthony thinks that Fraser is responsible for him getting fired. He's been doing a great job so far, so there's really there was like a baby power dynamic in this episode, but nothing really significant has happened yet. There's been no reason for anything to happen because everything's been good. That whole seafood allergy thing, they didn't really focus on. Sometimes allergies on Below Deck are a huge deal. sometimes they seem to be no big deal at all. It really comes down to what production and the storyline, I think, decides to focus on. What else is going to happen next episode? I don't know. I guess we'll see. Thanks for tuning in, you guys. This is That Lady Heather, Reality in Resin. Make sure you like my YouTube channel. Hit the subscribe button. Like this video. If you're watching, please like this video. It really, I think I'm at 44 subscribers right now. I'm really trying to get to 50. And then after I get to 50, my next goal is 500, which just seems so huge right now. But anyway, we're at 44. So thanks to everybody who subscribed. But if you have subscribed, if you are watching, please hit the like button. The like button really is supposed to help things a lot. So we'll see. Anyway, thank you for watching. If you're interested in resin projects, I will be doing this wood this week. And there's a few other videos that I've already posted about resin on how to make my necklace that you can check out on the channel. So far, I've kept the resin stuff really separate from the reality stuff. At some point, they may intermingle. We'll see what happens. In the meantime, thank you for tuning in. This has been Below Deck, Season 12, Episode 5, Rainbow Kisses, Friendship Wishes. I look forward to seeing Rainbow melt down. One of my predictions has come true. Goodbye, Caio. We'll see who gets fired next. Thanks for watching, you guys. See you next week. Oh my gosh. Before we go, Real Housewives of Orange County is coming out July 10th. Today it is July 4th. Happy July 4th, Americans. I'm from Canada. So that means we've got 6 days before the Real Housewives of Orange County could begin. I'm 100% going to be talking about that. I'm also kind of thinking about doing a weekly, hangout with Heather chat where I just go through all of the episodes I watch and kind of less of a recap, scene by scene, this is what happened, more of a overall my general opinion of the show. And that way I can talk about all the shows. Because right now, the Valley, things are happening in the Valley. I'd love to talk about that. Things are happening with Real Housewives of Miami. Didn't get my back. There was all kinds of reasons why I couldn't do Miami in the long run. Next Generation New York is happening. I decided not to do that one because they annoy me. But I would like to watch them all and kind of do like a reality recap show. So that's kind of where my head is at. Let me know what you think of that idea. Let me know if there's any shows that you want me to watch. I've also been watching The Gilded Age, which I'm loving. If you're into Downton Abbey or Bridgerton, I would suggest watching The Gilded Age. Anyway, that's it for now. This has been Below Deck, Season 12, Episode 5. 6 days, I will be watching and doing a video for Real Housewives of Orange County. I might do a little you know what? Maybe I'll do I'll watch all the trailers and I'll give you kind of a recap of what's happening on the OC. Because there's some old, Gretchen's coming back. And if you haven't watched the OC before, I think we're in season 19 or 20. Nobody wants to watch 19 or 20 seasons of the OC to know who Gretchen is. So maybe I'll do a little recap-y thing. We'll see. Anyway, these are my ideas. Thanks for tuning in for now. I'll see you next time. Make sure you hit subscribe if you want to watch the wood coming up. This is going to be a table. In the end, this is going to be the major part of a table. I'm so excited actually to do it. I think it's going to look really cool. The next part that I'm doing about this, it's going to seal in all the air. This is going to be the trick to get rid of air bubbles. At least I'm hoping. Anyway, follow along with me on my journey. See you next time, you guys. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.